Well, look who we've got in the studio listening to what Mr. Ryan had to say. That is Congressman Jason Chaffetz, Republican, Utah. Just in time on the show. That's perfect timing, sir.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, Paul Ryan said that Mr. Trump's comments on the judge were absolutely wrong, that they undercut the principles of the Republican Party. In fact, the Republican Party is lining up against him on this issue. Where do you stand?
I agree with what Speaker Ryan said. I think you can't defend those comments. You can be critical of the judge's rulings. You can be critical of the judge's political life and maybe question that. But his heritage to be a disqualifier for him to act and make proper rulings on the bench, I don't know of anybody that supports that idea and notion. He's an American. He was born in Indiana, and I think that Mr. Trump's comments were wrong, top to bottom.
But he says, Mr. Trump says, he's going to double down on this. He wants to go after reporters who bring up the issue. He wants to go after the pundits who bring up the issue. Now, if he continues to do that, what do you guys in the Republican Party do about it?
Well, I think we call it out for what it is. And whether it's Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump on either side of the aisle, when there's something wrong that's said, I think you have a duty and obligation to stand on principle and say, that's wrong. He could easily have pivoted and said, look, this is in the courts. Our attorneys are going to fight this. I don't agree with the judge's ruling. It would have been a 15-second answer, and then he could have gone on and talked about the economy and jobs and things that people really care about.
Well, he had a perfect opportunity. Last Friday was a dreadful
I don't understand why he didn't do that.
And there was the email scandal developments of that week as well. He had all that fertile ground, and he goes off again a judge.
I hope he's watching and hearing what from Newt Gingrich to Paul Ryan to Ben Sasse. I mean, a host of people are saying, please, let's talk about something that...
Well, can he win the general election in November if he doesn't have the Republican Party? I'm not going to say the establishment, but the Republican Party is not with him. Can he win?
Look, I think, and as Paul Ryan said, the Speaker Ryan said, we can disagree on a couple different issues. I don't expect to identify or support every single issue of every single candidate. But in contrast with Hillary Clinton, who is not authentic, who has trouble telling the truth, the contrast between the two is just night and day. And I do think that the country will rally behind a Donald Trump.
I just want to raise that issue about Hillary Clinton, and I want to get back to that, because I believe you said that you would be okay with the FBI not indicting Hillary Clinton. Let me show me that soundbite, please, so the congressman can hear it. Roll tape.
We do believe in James Comey. I think he is in all of the government. I do think that he is a man of integrity, of honesty. He came before the House Judiciary Committee, which I'm on, and said he looks at this daily. His finger is on the pulse of this. Nothing happens without him, and I think he is going to be the definitive person to make a determination or a recommendation.
So you trust him to do the right thing?
I do.
Knowing what you think is the right thing, you trust him to do it?
Well, there's a difference, because what his recommendation is may be very different than what the Department of Justice does, because there will be a political decision as to whether or not they actually go in and forward and indict her. But I think Mr. Comey, the FBI, people of integrity, you got to respect their findings. And so it depends. There's an infinite number of possibilities here. I do think Mr. Comey is under some pressure with the political calendar, the reality of the future of our nation. He's got to come to some conclusion and recommendation sooner rather than later.
Have you any idea when we might get some kind of resolution, some ruling from the FBI?
I have no firsthand knowledge. Just my gut tells me that somewhere between now and July 15th, the beginning of the Republican convention that weekend, that there will be some sort of movement. That's just a guess, a pure guess.
It's a dreadful situation. You're a Republican. This is not a great situation for the Democrats. They have nominated, as of now, they've nominated Hillary Clinton. Yeah. And here's this threat of a possible indictment hanging over her. That's not good for them.
Democrats have done this with eyes wide open. This has been out there for months and months, and it has not gotten better. It has gotten worse. When you had that Inspector General report come out last week, it was very definitive. She did not abide by the law. She did not abide by the rules. She put this country in jeopardy. She put individuals in jeopardy. There are emails in there that are so sensitive, above top secret, that even the Inspector General couldn't have looked at it. So Democrats, you know, you're going into this eyes wide open.
Other than Mr. Trump's going after the judge, you Republicans are having a pretty good time right now, aren't you?
It's a target-rich environment in Washington, D.C., I'll tell you that.
You've got a big smile. Jason Chaffetz, what a pleasure. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Thank you.